collected motorcycles since about 1984. Every kind of motorcycle, racing motorcycles, antique motorcycles. I've ridden motorcycles for hundreds of thousands of miles. I'm Paul d'Orléans. I'm founder of the Vintagent and co-founder of the Motorcycle Arts Foundation. And I've devoted the last 45 years of my life to motorcycles. I spend a lot of time in Mexico every year, down here in Baja, and I decided last year to bring a motorcycle down that had some connection with the place. And I decided the ideal motorcycle was a Honda CL72 from the early 60s, which was Honda's first ever production dirt bike. And it was also the first motorcycle that was ever ridden the length of Baja in 1962. I was keeping my eyes out for a very first generation street scrambler, CL72, just like this, and came upon one totally by surprise a year ago. I found this bike in Mount Shasta, California. I was stopped at a gas station with my girlfriend Susan on the back of my '64 Triumph Bonneville, and a guy came up to me and said, "Hey, I got an old bike to sell." And I said, "Oh yeah, what do you got?" He says, "It's a Honda Street Scrambler from '64. I said, "I want your bike." 3 days later, it was in the back of my van. He had only owned this bike for a few years, but he bought it from the original owner down in LA, who was one of the LA Honda dealers. So the bike is basically a two-owner motorcycle, and it's in pretty nice shape. Honda CL72 was their first scrambler, or street scrambler as it was known, which is a dirt bike for the road. So it has lights and it looks like a dirt bike with high exhaust pipes with a little perforated heat guard on the side. It's got a smaller gas tank than the regular street version of this motorcycle. It has shorter fenders, it has motocross handlebars with a little brace. So it looks the part, and it actually works pretty well out here in the desert. It's short, it's not too heavy. By contemporary standards, it's not a dirt bike at all, but I found it to be pretty fun riding out in the sand and in the arroyos and on the dirt roads down here in Baja. That the bike actually was capable on the dirt, they did a big publicity stunt in 1962, which was Bud Ekin's idea, who was Steve McQueen's best friend, champion motorcycle racer, ISDT medalist. No one had ever ridden a motorcycle down the length of Baja. They were going to time the record by sending a telegram from Tijuana and at the end at La Paz, just like Cannonball Baker used to do in the 19-teens. When Bud Ekins found out that he could not ride a Honda because he was under contract with Triumph, he tapped his brother Dave Ekins, who was also an ISDT gold medalist and a very experienced racer. Dave took charge from there. He recruited Bill Robinson Jr., whose father happened to own Hollywood Honda, and they began to plan the trip. They knew they could get gas all the way down the length of the 900-mile length of Baja, but water and food were an issue. The plan was that Dave Ekins and Bill Robinson Jr. were going to ride straight from Tijuana all the way down, basically without stopping except for food and water. And the Cessna would go ahead of them, land in particular spots, and provide them with water, fuel if they needed it, and sandwiches. When they left, they were pretty soon riding at night, and they crashed a lot, and they found some pretty gnarly roads. Pieces fell off the motorcycles, but 39 hours and 56 minutes after leaving Tijuana, Dave Eakins rode into La Paz and sent a telegram.